Welcome, Transformers fans. My name is Composite EnerJoe, and today I will be bringing you my review of the Transformers Generations Thrilling 30 Deluxe class Windblade. And here she is in her very unique, is probably the best word to describe, unique alt mode, which is and I'm just gonna say, and I am gonna just clarify it. Yeah, this is a fictional jet. I did as much research as I could. This does not exist. I could not find any real world counterpart to this. It is essentially a jet, but with vtol propellers that gives a vtol capabilities. And for those of you out there that don't know what vtol stands for, it's VTOL, which stands for vertical takeoff and landing, which are it's basically a fancy way of saying hover. Essentially, this thing can take off by just flying upward and hovering using the propellers. Now, there are vehicles that do this. The Osprey is one vehicle that has giant propellers that can float up, and it's essentially just a variation of a helicopter, where it has two giant propellers that rotate up and it just hovers around. Oh, and one cool thing, there is some articulation. These propellers do move, so you can simulate. Like if you do it like this, you can rotate and rotate, and then and you would see something like an Osprey do this, and these propellers do actually move. Nice, neat little detail, but they do move. And I guess to finish off articulation, there is this landing gear that goes up, and this landing gear here is molded in. And yes, those are her hands. Nothing can be done about it. At least from like the side and from the top, you don't really notice it. Only on the bottom do you actually notice that these are hands. What else? And obviously these are her legs. You can't tell. I don't like that the legs are just plopped on top. And honestly, it's like all black and then boom, red in the middle. So yeah, the I guess the the ratio of colors is a bit wonky here, because I think it would have been better if this was black, so it could just be a solid black jacket and then red underneath. I think that would have done a bit better. So yeah, funny enough, I have some of complaints with this figure. Not to say it's a bad figure, but I have my personal issues with it. And just to start it off, this alt mode, it's not exactly a bad alt mode. I just don't like it because, well, honestly, there's a reason why jets do not have propellers. There's a reason for it. Like I said, I did my research. There is no jet that looks like this, that has propellers. It doesn't exist. Maybe some really early versions, but maybe somewhere there might be something. But I looked and I didn't find anything. Because the big reason is that when you have these thrusters pushing the jet forward, these propellers will just cause more wind resistance. Like, jets are designed the way they are to sort of cut through the air. So the moment you have these propellers, it adds unnecessary wind resistance. So it'll actually move slower. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of this vehicle mode. Like I said, I'll give it that it's unique and it stands out and it is exclusive to Windblade. You see this vehicle mode, it's automatically Windblade. Like as far as of right now, it's Windblade is the only person who has this alt mode. But like I said, I personally do not like it because it makes no logical sense. In real life, this would not work as a jet. And the funny thing, there are jets that have VTOL capabilities. The most famous one being the Harrier jets, which have thrusters underneath the jet that cause it to hover up and then move around. The Harrier jet can do that, and it doesn't have propellers. So I said, I have my issues. I'll get on to transformation right now, but I said I have my issues. The fact that they just added two propellers here instead of just making a nice jet, they just boom, propellers. Like I said, the only thing I like is that it's unique. But personally, I'm not a big fan, of this alt mode. So let's get on to transformation. Come in here, separate that. Come in here, pop that up, pop this off, and separate. Fold this up and in. Oh, and also at the same time unpeg the hands from there, because the hands are holding onto them. Move the hands around. Come down here. Come in here. Separate the legs. Rotate the waist. And then from down here, rotate. Oh no, wait. First off, pull these out, and then rotate this. Oh, rotate this the other way. Rotate this way. Wait, some's a little off here. Something's off here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, rotate this back like this. Pull these pieces down. Then bring this entire leg assembly down. There you go. And I guess one other technical complaint is that these do not peg in really tight. I don't know if that's just my version, but these do come apart fairly easily. I'm just gonna say that's my version, but just be aware that these are pretty loose for the legs, and she got heels. That's cute. So then for this part, you bring this back. This is the nose cone. Fold it back all the way like that, and pull forward the chest. Pull out her head. Push it back in, and it should. Does it click? No, it does not. But okay. Then you take the arms. Well, we can rotate these bits over. Bring in the arms, and then you hear like a soft click. Bring up the arms, and there should be like a soft click somewhere. Lift up the shoulder armor. Adjust the head. And you can do whatever you want with the wings, but she's usually displayed with them, whoops. Yeah, she's usually displayed with them like out. Hold on. Well, they can fold back if you'd like. But they're usually displayed out because I guess one cool thing about these propellers in her robot mode, and then display these out, and there she is. This is her robot mode, and like I was mentioning, she actually uses these as weapons. She actually fires off like wind shots. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention: her weapon can be stored in her vehicle mode, but it looks kind of silly. That's why I didn't bother showing it, because it's like let me get her weapon real quick. Here's her weapon. You plug it in here. And it's just like it's off of the jet like this. And this is supposed to be like a back rotor, which once again makes no sense on a jet. But yeah, I didn't bother showing it because it's really goofy. It's just hanging there, so it's like I don't even bother. So yeah, work with the wings. So yeah, this is her robot mode, and here's her weapon. And similar to the well, check out the head sculpt. I like the sort of war paint they gave her, or the geisha look that they gave her. It makes her more unique, in my opinion. And that's like the biggest positive I can give for this particular figure, is that this was basically our introduction to Windblade, who was, get this, he was a fan-made character. Yeah, this was a fan original character. It was made by fans, built by fans, using fans. That's like the best quote I've seen for this. And well, the transformation overall was okay. It's kind of finished. It's okay. It's an okay transformation. Nothing too special about it. Not too complicated. Not too simple. It's just right. It's an okay transformation. Like I said, I kind of wish these would peg in tighter. Would had a stronger connection. I also kind of wish this would fold in somehow, but they just stick out. And she has her high heels, which is cute, but yeah. So yeah. What else can I say? Well, might as well show off her weapon, because this is my favorite thing about this figure is her weapon, which is this really cool sword with like a propeller in it. It is a very nice sword. I really, really like this sword. And I love that it has an actual sheath. Like that is awesome. Plus, even better, she has these things on the side, and there's these pegs, these pegs. She can actually holster it like that. And that is awesome. It's not the strongest connection, but it works. It gets the job done. And she can hold the sword in her hand quite nicely. So yeah, cool. My favorite thing about this figure is the actual weapon, and that from this point on, all future figures will always have a sword, which I think also comes with a sheath. I don't know about that, but like this awesome looking sword is now her iconic weapon. This I think what was it called? The storm blade. And like I said, other weapons she uses that her actual vtol jet propellers, which once again it's weird here saying that, but these propellers she fires off like wind shots, like wind cannons. And she has another little weapon which I don't think I've ever seen her use, but if you unpeg this thing, she can actually hold it in her hand as some kind of fan. I don't think this is more of a weapon, but this is more to sort of complete the whole geisha look. But it's neat that they managed to that they added that. It's neat. It wasn't really necessary, but it's a neat little feature that you can remove that. Posability. Let me get into a little bit of articulation. Up that far can rotate because they're all ball joints. Head is not on a ball joint, but it's weird. It can go up and down and move left to right, but the neck kind of restricts it. Can do a really nice kick. These are also on ball joints. Yeah, ball joints. Ball joints do what ball joints do. Bend that far back. The hand can rotate. The wings can also fold back. But she's supposed to have them out. This is like the you can fold them back, but like this is how it's supposed to be. Has a pretty good knee, and that's it. It kind of rotates up here, but these pieces restrict it. So yeah, I think basically being the introduction to this character, who is now. Here's the interesting thing about Windblade. Now, she's the first fan-made character, and she's grown very, very popular. I think from her introduction here, from her introduction point here, basically from this figure, which is her introduction, she is getting more and more popular. That she actually shows up as a character in the Transformers Robots in Disguise show. She shows up as a character, and she has 2 other toys associated with her. There's this one, and then in Titan's Return, she has a figure, and in the Robots in Disguise toy line, she has a figure there. So Windblade is slow. I think Windblade is either slowly or has replaced RC as the go-to female Autobot, the go-to female Transformer. So, I think as a character, she's really cool. She's just a brave, honorable warrior. With a really unique design and an equally as unique alt mode. But like I said, I personally don't like the alt mode because it just doesn't make any sense. Like I said, there's a reason why jets do not have propellers, and even though once again I'm not really a plane expert, but I know as much that I know that much that jets just don't have propellers. Whoops. Well, okay. Let me rephrase it, because now that I think about it, you have the 747s that do have those big propellers. Okay, I guess to specify it even better, they don't have these propellers. These kinds of propellers do not work on a jet. Like I said, it causes more wind resistance than anything else. So, what more can I say? As a character, she's really cool. She's a very cool design. She's really nice to look at. More so in her robot mode. Like I said, I think my favorite thing is her robot mode and her weapon. But what more can I say? Like I said, I like the character and I really like the design. The figure is average. It's okay. It's an okay figure. I feel that future figures, like I said, the Titan's Return and the Robots in Disguise versions might improve upon this design. But like I said, as an introduction to the character, it's an awesome design. I think fans had something going here, but like I said, I don't like these big propellers on the jet mode. I think it would have made more sense if she was just like an osprey or something. I think that would have been more interesting. And then the sword turns into like a helicopter, like where the helicopter blades combine to form one big sword. But that's neither here nor there. Like I said, I do like Windblade. I think she's cool. She has a great design, and the figure does show off the design quite well. I just have personal issues that I don't like the alt mode because the vtol jet thing just looks too weird to me. I don't like it. I personally do not like it. And the figure itself is okay. I think it falls apart too easily, but that could just be my version because it feels like nothing really pegs into place. What's the word I'm looking for? Pegs into place. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm stuck now. Sturdy enough. Like the connections are honestly, I don't feel are sturdy enough for this thing. Like the moment you start, messing with it, see, it just with little effort, it just starts popping off. The arms can just pop. Well, this one's loose. When you mess with it, this is also loose. Could just be my copy, But yeah, overall, it's an okay figure with a really cool robot design, really cool robot mode with a very awesome design, a unique alt mode that I personally don't like, awesome weapons, and honestly, she as a character is really cool. Okay, might as well do some more facts. You already know that she's the first ever fan-made Transformer that is now an official character. And this mold was repainted twice. Not as any other character, just as Windblade. And yeah, she was repainted, I think, she was repainted twice in two triple pack, in two exclusive 3-packs. One was called, I think, the Combiner Hunters with, who were they? I think it was with RC and Chromia. I believe it was, where she had, I think, a blue color scheme. And then she was in another 3-pack, I think, called Titan Force, where she was all red. Or I may have them mixed up, but I do know that this mold was repainted twice. And this video, I think I'm rambling on too much. I'm talking too much. So just to wrap things up. I like the figure. It's okay. Do I recommend it? Sure. If you like Windblade and want to see and want her first ever figure, this is her. But it's, like I said, it's an okay average figure. Posability could be better if the joints were a little bit tighter. There we go. If the connections were tighter and the wings and like the connections were like I said, I think if it was designed a little bit differently, it could be better. But overall, it's a good figure. It's an okay figure. And I recommend it. Like, if you like what you see, I recommend it. Especially if you're a big Windblade fan, who is now becoming a very, very popular character. And I think, like I said, is now becoming is either becoming or has become the go-to female Transformer now, replacing RC. I don't know. I'm just thinking that. So let me get her to stand up. And so yeah, this has been my review of the Transformers Generations Thrilling 30 Deluxe Class Windblade. This is Composite EnerJoe signing off. Peace out.